Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Pleasure Priority Podcast with me, Amber Taylor. This is the podcast all about how you can have the audacity to put yourself and your pleasure first, which ultimately shapes a life perfect for you. We discuss friends and family, career and money, oppression, healing, and mental health, current events, and historical ones too. Basically, all things life and pleasure and how you can create more of it authentically. I'm your host, Amber Taylor, and it's my pleasure to talk to you every week. Let's tune in. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Pleasure Priority Podcast. This week, it feels like a lot has been going on. I mean, it kind of feels like that every week. But between myself, my clients, my friends, my family, people out in the world that are sharing what they're going through, it's just like collectively, a lot's been going on. So I wanted to create an episode around the idea of creating calm for yourself within the midst of chaos. And how you can start to do that now, how these practices will help you get better at this in the future, and how these three main principles will grant you the ability to create calm within the chaos. And nothing that I say or share with you on this podcast or through any of my content is not something to beat yourself up about and not something to become perfect at and find the way that you can be the best and the most perfect at this thing. No, this is just information to help you with where you're at right now, and you can iterate on it. Yes, we go for progress. We do try to get better, but we're not shooting for perfection. So there's my disclaimer. But kind of the three main areas that I want to touch on today to create clarity, to create calm within chaos is awareness, acceptance, and allowance. So to begin, we have awareness. You have to know what's going on if you want to do something about it, right? So for awareness, this is literally just having an idea of what's going on around you and inside of you. It's knowing how you feel. It's knowing what you're thinking. It's knowing how you respond historically in similar situations. And it's knowing and understanding the triggers and stimuli that you face every day that may elicit a certain response. So if you know that if someone speaks in a certain tone with you, then you feel disrespected and you get defensive, that's having an awareness. And we'll talk about what to do about it later, but just knowing that this is what's going on and knowing that these things can compile and compound on each other. And just the ability to separate different instances, different circumstances, and have the awareness of what's happening within you with any given circumstance. So how do you create this awareness? Well, you check in with yourself. You get to know yourself. You get to know how you're feeling in any given day, in any given experience. So this is noticing what's happening in your body. And you don't even have to do it all the time when you are currently experiencing something that you want to check out. You can just do it intermittently. When you wake up, before you go to sleep, before you eat, before you take a shower, while you're in the shower, when you're on your way to work, or like whatever, just doing those little check-ins with yourself. And there's actually an app that I would love to recommend is called How We Feel. And unfortunately, at this point, it is only available for iOS users. So if you have an iPhone, awesome, this is for you. If not, they're still doing testing, and hopefully in the near future, it will be available for you too. But basically, what this app does is it just asks you to check in with yourself. It gives you a ton of examples of feelings and what those feelings mean and categorizing those feelings. So you can literally just get the notification on your phone, check in with yourself and see how you're feeling and take note of it. Literally just click a button. You can add, what you're doing right now, who you're with, any notes, any voice memos. Like it's a pretty cool app. But you can update it with any of that information. And then over time, you can see your trends, your patterns, your progressions, whether in a given day, if you have low or high points, where those commonly are in a given week at a certain period of time of the month. It's so cool and so helpful. And there are also features on there to share with friends where you can check in with others. You can also have access to mindfulness techniques, little things to help you gain awareness of how you feel, in addition to my podcast, and little ways that you can check in with yourself, be with yourself, and have that level of awareness. So, again, that app is called How We Feel. And I would highly, highly recommend. I've been using it for a couple months now, and it does make a difference. It does make it easier to check in with yourself, and you get familiar with so many other feelings. We traditionally just know like happy, sad, excited, angry, things like that. But there are like a lot of emotions and a lot of different variances with different degrees that are out there that we feel without the general knowledge or awareness of how those actually feel. So the more you are aware, the more you check in with yourself, the more you know yourself, the easier it will be to create your calm in chaos, because knowing yourself is the cheat code. Being able to see how you respond so that you can prevent or mitigate any certain feelings or certain outcomes, or you also joining that chaos. It begins with awareness. And the better you get with your own self awareness, the better you also get with social awareness, societal awareness, organizational awareness. So you can see and predict patterns in others as well, and how you can, again, keep your cool, keep your calm in the chaos, because you are also aware of how you fit in, not only with yourself, but in your microcosm of society. So the next part of the equation is acceptance. And acceptance does not mean condoning. I've said this before and I'll say it again, but just because you accept something does not mean that you are okay with it happening or that you want it to happen more. It just means that you are accepting the current reality of what is. Without accepting the current reality of what is, you can't change anything. You can't do anything about it because you refuse to accept what it is in the first place. Like somebody who refuses to believe that they're sick is not going to go to the doctor and get medicine. They may try to will it away. It may go away naturally eventually. They may have complications in the future because of that. We don't know. But we do know that if you would have acknowledged the sickness, if you would have acknowledged that something was wrong, you're in a better position to fix it. That's all acceptance is. Acknowledging, accepting the reality of what currently is. So when you do that, when you are in the midst of chaos, when things are happening all around you, whether that be in your own individual life or on a larger scale, when you accept what's happening and you accept the reality of the situation, you accept how you are actually feeling about it after you've gained an awareness of it, that's when you're able to do something. That's where your power lies. When you have that level of acceptance, you have power. You are able to stop acting at the whim, at the mercy of everything around you, and start making decisions for yourself, how you want to show up authentically and in integrity with you. When you accept what is inside of you and outside of you, you can create what you want to be. I think so often we struggle in times of chaos because we aren't accepting it. It shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't have gotten here. We should have done something before this, or somebody else should have done something or should have not done something and just be different than what it was. And we're just fighting the reality of what actually is. Which is, if you've ever been in a situation where you haven't been the cool, calm, and collected one, but you've been around somebody who has. And when you're speaking with them and asking them, like, what's going on? Like, why aren't you freaking out? It's because they just accept what's happening. Again, that does not mean that they're cool with it or that they like it. It just means that they are accepting of it, that they're willing to embrace what's coming next. And because they're willing to do that, they take back control. Like, I'm imagining a roller coaster and just going up and down and having no control over it when you're, sitting in the seat and you're just going where it wants you to go. You're hitting the side of it, your head's bobbling back and forth, your stomach's moving up and down, and you're just like at the mercy of this roller coaster. But when you have control of it, when you are actually the person pressing the buttons and making it go, you have the ability to slow down, to speed up, to respond to what else is happening around you, because you are in that driver's seat, you are in that position of power. And that is what acceptance gives you. And once you have that acceptance, then you move to allowance. And these are pretty similar, but slightly different. It is the amount of something that is permitted. So we all have our capacities of what we can handle. And when we are allowing ourselves to actually experience, to actually respond to what's happening. So we allow ourselves to feel how we feel. We allow ourselves to think what we're thinking. We allow ourselves to do what we want to do, respond how we want to respond. We allow ourselves to just be. And there is a limit. Everybody has a limit, of course. But we need to first have awareness and acceptance to even figure out what that limit is. And when we are going through chaotic situations, it may be stressful, it may be anxiety inducing, it may be chaotic, but we're equipped for that. We are equipped to do and handle hard things. So allowing ourselves the experience of this hard thing, that nothing has gone wrong here, that this is just part of it and part of life, again, gives us back so much power. There is a limit though. Like, we don't want to just let everything just happen to us without taking a stand or standing up for ourselves or supporting ourselves in the way that we need to be supported. There is a time and a place for that, and you will know what that is. But every time and every place is not for that. Sometimes we just need to allow. So when you have a level of awareness, when you accept the reality of what is, and when you allow yourself to experience your reality, however you are experiencing it, you are able to create calm within chaos. And again, this takes practice, this takes iteration, this takes learning yourself. But y'all know I couldn't leave an episode without talking about pleasure. So when you orient towards pleasure, when you seek it out, you are also able to help yourself to create calm amongst chaos because you are doing what satiates you. You are calming your nerves. You are calming your body. You are allowing yourself to enter back into the window of tolerance. And your window of tolerance is where you are able to make sound decisions. It's where you're not in the parasympathetic phase of the fight or flight or trying to make things happen. And you're not in the low sympathetic phase of just shutting down and being depressed. But you're in the window of tolerance where you're able to make things happen, make things shake, make decisions for yourself, not from a place of fear or lack or scarcity, but from a place that serves your highest good. Orienting towards pleasure, seeking pleasure, prioritizing pleasure, even in the midst of chaos, is how you become grounded again. It's how you're able to stay calm. And by no means am I saying anytime something is chaotic that you should be calm. No, not at all. Again, allowance. Feel how you feel. Be what you want to be. React how you want to react. And what makes sense to you. But when you aren't happy with how you are reacting or showing up in these situations, you can change it. But that change starts with grace. It starts with awareness, acceptance, and allowance. It starts with seeking and orienting towards your pleasure. And the more you do that, the more you're able to handle these situations in a way that you are proud of and would like to do more of. So remember these 3 A's and keep working on knowing yourself, knowing your pleasures, and allowing your desires. And as always, I'm here for you whenever you need me. Talk soon, friends. Hey, friends. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Pleasure Priority Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. If it's your pleasure, check me out on Instagram at Amber Taylor Coaching and my website, www.ambertaylorcoaching.com, for more on increasing your pleasure across all aspects of life. As always, make sure to follow the show and check back each week for a new episode. I'd also love it if you'd leave an honest rating and review, and if you'd share the show with anyone else you think would benefit. Much love. Talk soon, friends.